When Jalen Green was selected with the second overall pick in the most recent NBA draft, there were two things most draft experts were certain of. This guy was an outlier athlete, and he can flat out score. There were some pretty obvious flaws in his game, and he was still pretty raw overall. Despite this, I've seen multiple of his highlights penetrate my Twitter timeline, so I thought I'd take a little deeper look at Green. So, before I ramble on for too long, let's get into the meat and potatoes of this one. Let's start with the positives. His athleticism is one of the first things you'll notice about him. Here, he gets the ball on the left wing, drives hard to the rim, and just throws it down. Not even the block-happy Jaren Jackson Jr. wanted anything to do with that. That speed and athleticism allows him to get to the basket relatively easily. He shoots 48.8% on drives, which is second best amongst rookies. Here, he gets the ball on the perimeter and just burns by Fournier and tops it off with a pretty little finger roll. In this instance, he gets the mismatch from Randall, and for him, that's a green light to blow right by him, and again, that's a nice finish high off the glass.
Nice.
This is something I'd like to see more from him and the Rockets. Here he comes off the curl, Wood rolls hard to the paint, which means that Bridges has to follow him, which means all Green has to do is use his blistering speed, beat Cam Johnson, and it's a basket. Here he gets a screen from Tice and uses a nice little change of speed to get to the basket. Speaking of change of speed, that's something he's used to good effect at times, especially on mismatches. Here he sees it's Mitchell Robertson on him and he hits him with the before finishing at the basket. He'll finish through contact as well and is overall a pretty good finisher at the hoop. He shoots 48.5% from inside 5 feet, which is a healthy increase on his percentages everywhere else. He can contort his body to get his finishes off as well. He also uses his speed and athleticism to attack after misses. But what about his shooting? Well, this is kinda where the problems start. He ranks second amongst rookies for 3-point attempts, but his percentages on those shots don't rank as highly as the graphic on your screen now shows. He's shooting 29% on catch and shoot threes, and he scores 0.83 points per possession as a spot-up threat, which has him in the 45th percentile in the league. He shoots a lot of pull-up jumpers and only shoots 28.3% on them from outside the arc. He loves his step back as well, and from what I've seen, they're not really that effective as of yet. He's taking a liking to the mid-range jumper as well. The results aren't that favorable though.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Overall, his jumper definitely needs some work. I thought he was a streaky shooter going into the draft, and so far it seems that he is fitting the lower end of my expectations of him. He shoots pretty much the same number of shots from inside the arc as he does from outside, so I'd like to see him attack the basket a bit more. I think he's a far more efficient scorer that way. His passing has also shown potential. He can make basic reads and is gaining experience as a pick and roll ball handler. His scoring in these situations hasn't been good though. At 0.62 points per possession, that's only enough for the 15th percentile in the league. But he has shown he can make a little out of it. He's also shown that his overall vision and decision making is still very underdeveloped. This is something he's going to need to work on as well. He has a 13.7% assist rate, 10th amongst rookies, and a 0.85 assist to turnover ratio, 4th worst amongst rookies. Hey, so I'm just cutting in here just to give you guys a kind reminder to like the video and subscribe. Every subscriber means a lot at this point. Also, if you have any suggestions or players you'd like me to take a look at, drop them in the comments down below. And yeah, back to the video. Let's talk about his defensive impact as well. He averages 0.6 steals per game, which is 10th last amongst rookies. He also averages 0.3 blocks per game, which is also 10th last amongst rookies. The Rockets were 15.6 points per 100 possessions better defensively when he was off the court. The graphic on your screen now shows his net impact when stacked up against his peers. The Rockets were 12.6 points per possession better when he was off the court offensively, and his overall net rating is at negative 28.2 points. That's not pretty at all. I doubt the Rockets are really worried about all that though. They're not particularly fussed with this whole winning thing. We also need to remember that we're dealing with a guy who's 19 and played less than 20 NBA games. There's still a lot of time for him to develop and grow. We are very, very, very far from him being a bust. There are some obvious things for him to work on. There are also some easy adjustments he can make now to help him become a more positive player on the court. There are, however, some things that are gonna take nothing but time and hard work to get better at. I, for one, will be very interested to see exactly how it unfolds. Well, that was all for this video. If you did enjoy, please put like and tap that like button. And until next time, it has been your boy, Zachary McAllister. Have a good day.